Hey everybody, welcome back to Retro Modding News, my weekly video where I talk about what's new and upcoming in the world of retro console modding. First up this week, we have another VGA adapter from Jeff Chen. This time it's the 10DIN to VGA multi-purpose dongle for Sega Saturn. Not super sure what makes it multi-purpose, but let's go over to the GitHub to get some more info. This is part of Jeff's VGA All the Things project, where he has a bunch of these VGA adapters for different consoles, and there's some for different upscalers, so you can use VGA cables to kind of pipe all the signals around. The primary goal of this adapter is to be for the Saturn to get RGB output, and it's RGB over the VGA cables. It's not necessarily converting RGB to VGA. Okay, so what makes this multi-purpose is that you can use this adapter to get S-video out using a cheap VGA to S-video adapter. You can use this VGA to S-video adapter to just get S-video pretty easily out of the Sega Saturn's 10-pin DIN. Just a heads up, this is a DIY project. It seems to be a little bit complicated. You do have to build the boards that go inside yourself, as well as 3D print this, but if you're interested in building one of these for yourself, I'll leave a link to the GitHub in the description. Next up this week, we have two new 3D printable Mr. cases from Todd Gill. This first one here is what he's calling the full case, so it has a fan duct there, there's the buttons, the USB ports are in the front, and a power switch there. In the back, there are some more ports broken out. Here's what it looks like on the inside. You can see a lot going on actually. There's looks like some breakout cables in the front. Maybe those are for the USB ports or something, and in the back as well. You can even see a SATA hard drive adapter thing here, so you could plug in SSDs from the outside of the case without having to open it up. If you go on Todd's Twitter, you can see a bunch of different videos of him showing this off. So there's the green one that we saw already, but there's also a orange TurboGrafx 16 colored version. That's just him printing different colors. I'm not sure if this is going to be available for sale, but at the very least you can download the STL to print it yourself if you subscribe to him on Patreon. Todd is also going to revisit his smaller compact Mr. case. I think this time he's going to be adding some swappable plates in the back for the different type of digital I/O boards or analog I/O boards that you can get for the Mr. Here's a picture of the piece that you can swap in the back here depending on the I/O board that you have. It looks like this version will be available for sale through Stone Age Gamer, so if you don't have a 3D printer and you want to have one of these cases, you'll be able to get it through them pretty soon. Next, we have a pretty exciting tweet from Humble Bazooka. I've been waiting a really long time for this. This is a 3D printable case for the DS Lite for creating a Game Boy Macro. Game Boy Macro is a mod where you can use a DS Lite to create a large Game Boy Advance, because the DS Lite has a Game Boy Advance cartridge slot. And I really like the look of this 3D printed design. I like the flat front here, and just the back gives you access to the battery, and it exposes the Game Boy Advance cartridge so that you can read the label. The files to 3D print the case are available here on Printables if you want to print them yourself. But one thing I wish that this had was the list of other materials that you need to do the Game Boy Macro mod. I think you need some kind of a resistor, and this case is designed to have two switch speakers too. So I wish they had a list of all the other things that you needed in here. However, there is a link to the YouTube video where Humble Bazooka is putting it together, and they have a list of all the things that you need there. So I'm going to leave a link to this YouTube video if you want to make one of Humble Bazooka's Macro F Game Boy macros. And for the big story this week, we have another exciting update from Greg from LaserBear about this Dreamcast BlueRetro mod that he's been teasing for a while now. If you haven't seen my video about the GameCube BlueRetro adapter from LaserBear, go check that out, because there's a lot of features that you don't really get from the surface of this thing. I know I've been talking about BlueRetro for a long time, about how you can connect Bluetooth controllers to different consoles and things, and we knew that the GameCube mod was going to be an internal way to get BlueRetro, but I didn't expect that feature where you can leave the power button on and you can put your console to sleep basically with the power button still being on, and then wake up the GameCube with the controller. Now I'm wondering if you'll be able to do the same type of thing here with the Dreamcast, because I think if that was on every single one of LaserBear's BlueRetro adapters, that would be a really killer feature for such a high price for these adapters. But if you've been watching my older Retro Modding News videos, you know that 8-Bit Mods is getting in on this LaserBear BlueRetro adapter. We've seen teasers before from 8-Bit Mods where there's going to be some kind of a virtual VMU support, and they've teased that it's going to be built into this LaserBear BlueRetro adapter. So I think if they can work in both the standby power feature as well as the virtual VMU support into this adapter, I think this is going to be really exciting for Dreamcast fans. That's it for this week, but go check out this video if you want to learn about a new Wii HDMI mod that is compatible with all Wii revisions. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.